Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome back to Conscious Pathways. In this series, we're stepping inside George Orwell's 1984, a story about control, illusion, and awakening. Today, we entered the halls of Ministry of Truth, a place where facts are erased, documents are rewritten, and yesterday is reshaped to serve the powers of today. Orwell captured it in a single chilling line. Who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past. It's a reminder that truth in the hands of power is never neutral. And so we ask, who writes reality?
I'm Dennis. In Orwell's world, the Ministry of Truth was staffed with workers who revised history daily, changing names, altering speeches, removing events that no longer fit the party's narrative. Reality itself became unstable. When we look at our own world, it's tempting to think, well, that's just fiction. But history gives us many examples of truths being reshaped, not by science fiction, but by politics, power, and fear. I remember the turbulence of the late 1960s, the war in Vietnam weighing heavily on every headline and on the lives of so many. Later, it came to light that during the 1968 presidential campaign, back-channel messages, known as the Anna Chennault affair, may have encouraged South Vietnam to hold off on peace talks. Some even allege Nixon's campaign interfered to delay an agreement, ensuring the war did not wind down before the election. Imagine that, a war prolonged, at least in part, by the rewriting of reality behind closed doors. The public believed the war dragged on because negotiations were difficult. But the truth was far more complicated, and the cost was measured in lives.
Just a few years earlier, in 1964, the Warren Commission released its official report on President Kennedy's assassination. It declared a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. He had acted alone. For many, this became the truth. It was printed, bound, and preserved as the official record of one of the most shocking moments in American history. And yet, doubt spread almost immediately. Polls in the years since have shown that most Americans never fully believed the lone gunman theory. People sensed that something didn't add up. And here we see another kind of ministry of truth, not a fictional department, but a government report, an official narrative that told one story while much of the public felt another. Two competing realities, both shaping how history is remembered.
What does this mean for us? If governments, leaders, and commissions can write or rewrite reality, then we have to ask, what about the stories inside us? How often have we accepted an official story about our own lives? Stories we were handed by family, culture, institutions. Stories that said, this is who you are, this is how it is, this is all you can be. In that sense, each of us has our own ministry of truth. We edit memories, silence parts of ourselves, and sometimes even rewrite our own past to survive. Awakening begins when we pause long enough to notice, whose story am I living, and is it really mine?
It can feel unsettling to ask these questions, whether about history or about ourselves. But every awakening begins with the courage to notice where illusion lives. So take a moment right now to ask yourself, what truths have I accepted without question? Where in my life am I living someone else's version of reality.
If this message resonates with you, we'd love for you to follow the podcast and walk this path with us.